We're boiling it all down this week. If you've learned anything from our podcast or blog over the years, we hope it's these 5 fundamental beliefs that drive everything that we teach and recommend. Hi, it's Jim, and welcome to Better Radio Websites, the podcast that wants to help you get more visitors and the most revenue from your radio station website. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and if you haven't already, be sure that you like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for doing that. Well, over the years here at Skyrocket Radio, and now 181 or 2 episodes in on this podcast, we have our blog as well, and then looking back at every client conversation that we've had over the last 12 or 13 years, we've been trying to help radio stations thrive online through all of this. And if you've taken anything away from us, we hope that it's one or more of these 5 core best practices. Now, I will tell you that these 5 things are the very, very, very top, and everything else that we talk about or try to teach or try to just instill on you to help your radio station thrive, it's going to fall under probably one of these pillars, all right? So hopefully you can take something away today from the very top level of this list. And let's just dive in and look at each one of them. Number 1 is to treat your website like a core part of your radio station, not an afterthought. We've seen it time and time and time again. Radio stations who thrive online put a very big emphasis on their website, and the ones that don't simply don't treat the website like it's a vital part of the radio station experience. It's over here on the side. It's its own thing. It's something that we supplement the radio station with. It should be a critical extension of your on-air product. When you talk about the radio station, you're really talking about both on-air and online, not just on-air separate from online or vice versa. All right, we think of your station website as a vital, critical part of your radio station. That means every show, news story, podcast, event that you promote, anything that you promote on air and over social media should drive traffic to the website. Now, the website's job is to, of course, drive traffic to more listening. It's this big circle that everything works together. They're not separate parts. And that's a vital thing that we try to instill in everything that we talk about. And it's something that it's very, very hard to get people who have this radio mindset. We got into the radio business. We didn't get into the website and the online, the digital business. It's trying to get this mindset instilled in them. Invest in a professional, purpose-built platform that support audio streaming, mobile responsiveness, monetization. This part of your radio station, the website, is not something to cheap out on because it's your most important digital asset. Facebook is not important. Twitter is not important. When it comes to in the hierarchy of where it is, when it comes to your radio station, those are things that we rent in order to drive traffic to the things that we own, and that is our website. All right, so you want to ensure that this commitment, number 1, it's getting the commitment yourself and then instilling it across every department at your radio station. Ensure that when everybody, no matter what department they're in, they're talking about the radio station, they're also including the website in that conversation as well. All right, number 2 is the commitment to consistent local content. You've all heard that content is king. Well, local content is your secret weapon. All right, we've said this time and time again, and I know that this core list is probably going to be, we've heard this, we've heard this before. But again, your audience comes to you for local news, local events, sports, even obituaries. It's updates that they can't get anywhere else. Regularly publishing relevant, timely content boosts your SEO like crazy, actually. It increases your audience engagement and it drives more ad revenue opportunities. Like I said, the stations who are putting a big emphasis on their online product are making money with those online products. All right, so specifically their website, because they're driving all this traffic to it, and of course, more traffic equals more revenue opportunities. Right now, we have AI tools that can help you create content a lot faster, especially if your team is stretched thin. And our brand new Content Lab service actually fills in those gaps. So, check that out on our website. But the key is consistency. Generating content on your station website in a consistent fashion. If your website is a brochure or just a listen live button, then you're missing out on a lot of online revenue. And it all starts with this. Well, it all starts with the mindset, really. And then number 2 is the content. Now, number 3 is to prioritize monetization at every digital touch point. Your website and your mobile app, they should be designed from day one to start generating revenue. I come from the programming side, so this was a new thing for me to kind of wrap my head around, because it was all about, the website should be bringing more listeners and that sort of thing. But really, I never really thought about the sales aspect of it. But you can integrate banner ads, sponsored content, even premium extensions like our audio banner ads or job boards or business directories, swap shop programming, you see your listings on there. All of this can drive more revenue into the radio station. All right, track and promote the website and app analytics, because just as you would ratings, if you're in a ratings market, like I said earlier, more traffic brings higher ad rates. So these banner ads and these sponsored posts and all these other things that you're putting on your station website, you can start charging a whole lot more for them. And believe me, when you're seeing numbers like 200,000 page views per day, you can take that into any client and they're going to buy that. All right. And that's going to be a whole lot better than somebody who are selling digital services like Google ads and Facebook ads and stuff like that. That's a whole lot better than one of those ad agencies can give them, because you're actually showing the app analytics on your website. And again, it's all from that content that you have. If you have no content, you're not going to get traffic. So the ratings and the analytics, they're not going to mean anything to you because you don't have any kind of content that is driving traffic to your website. Your jocks are not talking about it. Everything that you do on social media is just for another scroll. It's not to drive traffic to the website. And so, again, it all starts at that mindset stage that we mentioned at the very, very top. All right. Listen, your digital platforms, your website are very, very powerful sales tools. And when you treat them that way and you have that mindset, you have the content, you can start generating lots and lots of revenue. And there are stations out there generating lots and lots of revenue, and they're not doing it with a big staff. So please don't think that, they probably have a news team that updates their website and keeps all the events and everything on that. No, they don't. They're just like you, and they have a very minimal staff. They're working off a bootstrap, and they maybe have one person online that is making updates to the website. So it can be done with a very, very minimal staff. All right. Number 4 is to keep the technology updated and user-friendly. If your website is clunky, it's outdated, or your mobile app frustrates users, all of this is a negative feeling against your radio station. So it can hurt your brand. You want to ensure that your website and your mobile app are consistently updated to work with the latest browsers, mobile operating systems, accessibility standards. You want to keep that in mind as well. And choose platforms that are built specifically for radio. Wix and GoDaddy Web Builder, those are not built for radio stations. So you cannot expect a persistent audio player that consistently plays the audio as the person moves around the website. I mean, yeah, it could be a window that opens up. Sure, fine, okay. But it's a whole lot better if in the browser you can see what is playing on the radio station as you're reading the content that the radio station is promoting and talking about on air as you're sitting there reading it. You can use drag and drop page builders and easy content management systems to make all of this happen a whole lot better. You're not going to get that from a low cost, cheap website builder. All right. So, and then prioritize ease of use, because yeah, one of these Wix and GoDaddy websites or whatever, they're not really easy as they say that they are. Yeah, you may have somebody on your team who can muddle through it or whatever, but it's not going to look as professional as a platform that is specifically built for radio stations. All right, so that's what you want to keep in mind. And then finally, number 5 is to own your mobile presence. If you're relying on social media, tune-in apps, or any other third-party apps to reach your audience, remember that you're playing on rented land there. I mean, the TuneIn app could drop your station, or there all kinds of things could happen. Your station needs a mobile app that fully integrates with your website. It supports push notifications, and it allows for in-car listening via Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then you may want to ensure that everything that you want to appear on those car dashboards is actually there. We've heard of some apps that don't support anything that the radio station might be playing, like let's say if you have a format that plays a lot of local music. Well, you're not going to have that artwork show up in Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So you're missing out on a whole lot of local listenership and trying to drive really your format. Mobile apps should increase listener loyalty, unlock new sponsorship revenue streams, and give you full control over the listener experience. Remember that your mobile app is a vital extension of your radio station brand, just like your website. And how it makes your listeners feel about your radio station, it could be a negative or it could be a positive. Either way, it should be a whole lot more than just a play button. Make it something that your listeners will actually feel about your radio station, and make sure that it increases your brand rather than takes away from it. All right. So these are the 5 core, if we boiled everything down, the fundamental beliefs here of everything that we do at Skyrocket Radio. They guide our designs, our content strategies, our recommendations across everything that we do. And it's our core beliefs here at Better Radio Websites. If you go to our website at skyrocketradio.com, we have additional blog posts there in addition to what you get here in the podcast. So be sure that you're checking that out. And hey, look, if you need help making your radio station website and mobile app better and more effective, both for content and generating listeners and engaging with your audience and making more money, reach out to us at skyrocketradio.com, because we're so passionate about helping radio stations thrive online. Hopefully this information helps you. If it has, be sure that you like, subscribe, and hey, share this content out with your radio colleagues. We so much appreciate that. Have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. We'll see you next time.